Chris, in the email inbox about an hour before the show, where do you think J.C. Latham will end up? J.C. Latham, for those of you unfamiliar, is a five-star offensive tackle. He is 6'6", about 305. He's at IMG Academy down in Bradenton, Florida, as are perennially many of the highest-rated players in America. To quickly walk you through the backstory, because there's been a lot of smoke within the last 24 to 48 hours that maybe things are changing, Ohio State has long been thought to be the leader here. And there were kind of whispers, when I was on vacation this last week, there were sort of whispers. I got a text or two about, hey, are you hearing stuff with J.C. Latham in Alabama? And all I ever do is text people who really know about recruiting. It's not like these kids are talking to me. Well, in most cases, they're not. I have talked to a few mothers over the past couple of weeks, nice people, but I'm not necessarily always the one with the scoop. But luckily, those people who do have it have their numbers securely stored in my phone here. Which reminds me, check out the Wiltfong Recruiting Whip Around on the 24/7 Sports YouTube channel every week. The over-under for how many names he's going to put into that 10 to 15-minute video are like 100.5, and he normally hits the over. So I start asking around. Yeah, there was some smoke last week, especially late, and then I get back, and then lo and behold, last 48 to 24 hours, you've seen whether it be over on our Alabama site, BamaOnline.com, over on the Roundtable. I've seen updates, and it's VIP content. If you're not already subscribed, why in the world are you guys not subscribed? It's the most insane value in all of sports. So subscribe. You'll see what Tim Watts has posted over there. You'll see what Hank South has posted over there. The guys at Bucknuts, and I was on that site a lot today trying to get the temperature in the field. They've posted several updates. You are very rarely left in the dark with this stuff. Unless a kid just intentionally misleads everyone, very rarely with the network of experts we have here are you left in the dark. You're going to know what's going on. So with Latham right now, hey, I'm going to follow the tea leaves and I'm going to say Alabama, but I'll also say this. What I found more interesting than just where I think he's going to go. And by the way, the feeling, the overall sentiment I gathered is if it's Alabama, it's sooner rather than later. So stay tuned on that one. I don't know anything. Like sometimes we've edited videos for kids and I know, I'll never tell you, but sometimes I know, I don't know anything right now. So, but what I found interesting was I was over on our Bucknut site and I was looking, and I appreciate diehard fans, educated diehard fans, because as much as the casual observer is looking at Ohio State's recruiting class right now and they're saying, oh man, Buckeyes by 10 miles this cycle. And hey, it may be. I'd certainly think they're the overwhelming favorite to finish with the top class. The difference between the casual observer and the informed observer can be found and measured pretty succinctly if you scroll up and down that Ohio State message board there, specifically on Bucknuts, and you look at how seriously those folks are taking the idea that they may lose J.C. Latham to Alabama. And their problem, whereas the casual observer would say, what's your problem? You're still going to have the number one class. Just as much as the casual observer sees it that way, Ohio State fans have the correct perception and the correct lens with which to look at these situations through. It's the one we've talked about on this show when we're talking about any of the elite teams. Ohio State knows they can out-recruit the Big Ten by 50 miles. And at the end of the process, it's still going to be nip and tuck, razor blade thin margins here and there at various position units between themselves and Alabama and Clemson and whoever else happens to be in the college football playoff. And they know. I saw a guy actually on the board say, you know, I can explain it no better than this. Imagine if we're playing Clemson in the Fiesta Bowl last year. They got a big lead. Clemson came back and won. What happens if Clemson has one less five-star offensive tackle? What happens if Chase Young gets a free release around the edge one more time and has one more chance to cause one more fumble or one more negative play? That could be the difference between us being eliminated in a heartbreaker versus us going on to play for and winning a national championship. That's how it works. That's how it works. You want to know why these folks take recruiting so seriously? That's it. If you're looking to go 8-5, if you're looking to win the division maybe, what they're doing is good enough. And what they're doing right now, if they're consistent about it, it's going to be good enough to eventually win a national championship. But the whole point is, good enough is not what these Tier 1 teams are looking for. They want to outpace everyone, and they want to consistently do it. And as much as you're looking at the kids they're going to get, I respect the heck out of those folks on the Bucknut site that are saying, and this is not over yet, but if they lose Latham perceptionally to Alabama, they look at it as, oh man, there's one more opportunity. If we got a razor thin margin in a playoff game, there's one more opportunity where We could have a strip sack and a fumble when we're in the red zone, 17-17 mid-third quarter, that a five-star offensive tackle would not have allowed to happen. How can you not love college